segment with attorney Bilal Khaliq. As you all know, every Tuesday and Thursday we have a very informative segment which is sponsored by the Khaliq Law Firm, जिसमें हम मुख्तलिफ legal topics को in detail discuss करते हैं. The purpose is to share as much information with you as possible, although we don't take your calls on air during this segment. However, the attorney does offer free consultation for all financial listeners. You can call them directly at 214-453-2500. That is 214-453-2500, or you can log on to boldlegal.com. Welcome back to the show, Bilal Saab. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Ambreen, but I hear that you've got something going on with your voice.
It was just fine this morning. I don't know क्या हो गया.
अच्छा, शायद आपने एक्साइटमेंट में कुछ बहुत चीख लिया या बोल लिया या कोई नारा लगाया आपने.
मेरे गले को नजर लगी.
चलिए तो फिर ऐसा करते हैं कि आज मैं ज़्यादा बातें कर लेता हूँ.
Sounds good.
If you don't mind.
Not at all. So आज ये तो बताएं कि आज आप किस टॉपिक पर बात करेंगे.
देखिए, हमने लास्ट टाइम बात की थी कि अगर आप आउट ऑफ स्टेटस हैं,
Right.
if you're out of status, what are your options? And we discussed three things. We discussed कि आप asylum file कर सकते हैं, आप शादी कर सकते हैं US citizen से, and you can also apply for a U visa if you're a victim of a crime.
Okay.
But there's a couple other options for you. If you are undocumented and immigration happens to catch you.
Okay.
So that's called deportation defense. So what happens is immigration actually has a list of people who are undocumented here.
Okay.
And I've talked to some immigration officers, kind of interesting.
Okay.
They get a list from Washington, D.C. every now and then and said these are priority people.
Okay.
And unfortunately, if you're a certain part of the world and you're a certain faith,
I thought
you're
it
a
was,
higher priority.
I thought it was more to do with your criminal background or
Gee, there is. Right now the priority is if you've been deported prior and you happen to sneak back in the country, or if you have a criminal background, that is a priority.
Okay.
But at the same time, there are some people that are targets.
Okay.
And they feel like that these people don't need to be here if they
Okay.
don't have the status.
Okay.
So, जब आपको कोई आके arrest करता है, so I always tell people that don't make a scene out of being arrested.
Okay.
You know, the police officer is doing his job. Some people, and this is the ICE officers,
Okay.
and some people sit there and give a lot of explanation. And he's not really there to decide, and it's not really his choice to let you go.
आप कहना ये चाह रहे हैं कि जो ऑफिसर आके अरेस्ट करते हैं या लेने आते हैं, उनके पास सारी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं होती, तो उनके पास आपके सवालों के जवाब नहीं होंगे.
नहीं, उनके पास इंफॉर्मेशन सारी होती है, लेकिन एट द
Okay.
सेम टाइम अगर आप उनसे प्लीड करें कि मुझे अरेस्ट ना करो,
Okay.
या आप कहें कि जी नहीं मैं तो लीगल हूँ और ये है और वो है, तो they're not going to have that conversation with you there and then.
Okay.
Just like the police officer आप किसी crime के लिए arrest करता है,
Uh-huh.
so only a judge will decide whether you're guilty or not.
And they can arrest you anywhere, like at your place of
They
work.
can arrest you at place
home,
of work, at home.
रास्ते में.
Raste mein, actually one of my clients was very sad. He actually got out of the office, got out of his home at about 7:30 a.m. and was ready to go to
सुबह
work.
सुबह क्यों आते हैं? I don't
Actually, they start at
understand.
6 a.m.
Wow.
and they're done by 3 p.m. by the way. So if 3-4 p.m. has happened and you didn't get arrested, you're good for the day.
Okay, good.
Unless there's a raid of some sort.
Okay.
So he left his home and he was just driving, and just one block later, they stopped him and they said, "We've been waiting for a while. You're late today."
Oh my goodness.
So he usually used to go about 6:30, and they'd been waiting there for that time.
Oh my
So
goodness.
they take you in, and again you are required to give your name and your address, but that's all you're required to give.
Do they still read the Miranda rights?
They can, or they can skip them. You see,
Okay.
the Miranda rights are read when they're about to interrogate you. So they want to let you
Okay.
know, okay, the right to remain silent and get an attorney. But if the police officer, even though he's supposed to, but he doesn't talk to you at all, then that's fine. He hasn't really violated anything. So once they take you to a detention center, this is immigration, you're undocumented, you're going to be placed in a waiting room.
But are they going to at least tell you why you're being arrested?
I think if it says ICE on their jackets and you're undocumented, most people figure out why they're being arrested. I had a couple of clients actually who were in a pending status. That means that they had filed the paperwork, they were waiting,
Okay.
and then usually our government doesn't arrest you if you're in pending or doing something,
Okay.
but they can if they want to.
Okay.
And so he kind of tried to argue with them and said, no, ये देखिए ये documents है, मैंने status file कर दिया था, but they said no, let's just go.
Okay.
At that point, the officer will make you fill out a few pieces of paper.
Okay.
And all it says is that why they think you should be deported. Okay, so they're not deporting you. They're just giving you a reason. And it usually says, oh, you're a citizen of this country, you're not a U.S. citizen, you came on this date, and you overstayed your visa.
Okay.
At that point, the officer is two options.
Okay.
He can actually give you a bond, and you can post that bond and get out and go back
Okay.
home. So I've actually had clients who got arrested in the morning, and by the evening they're out.
Okay.
Or he can choose not to give you a bond. And that's a tough part, because what actually happens is, unlike the criminal courts, where the judge, shows up every day and there's a court hearing every day, immigration court, it can take up to 15 days to see a judge.
Right.
And you sit there in jail. And sometimes the jail, because they're so full of immigrant population, they'll put you in a regular county jail, and that's not a good experience at all. So there's a detention center for immigrants, and then there is the criminal jail. And it's just your luck what happens. Once you do see a judge, you can make an argument that, look, Judge, I understand I'm here undocumented, I'm illegal so far, but give me a chance, give me a bond, let me get out, I'm not a danger to the society, and at that point, I'll figure out a way to stay here.
Not everybody's going to know how to say things like this.
Right, and so 90% of the people, actually, when they get arrested, they immediately hire an attorney. And so, we do this all the time. It's called Deportation Defense. We'll come get a bond for you and have a hearing for you, prepare all the evidence, and do that. Actually, there's been a survey that those who have an attorney in immigration court, 70 times are more likely to win their case than those without an attorney. So, like we've discussed that before, you can do anything an attorney can do.
Right.
But having an attorney on your side is that experience and some of that know-how. And sometimes, just knowing somebody, like, if I know not the judge, but the opposing counsel, the government attorney, we can negotiate a better bond amount than you could on your own.
Of course. Now, those of you just tuning in, हम बात कर रहे हैं Attorney Bilal Khaliq के साथ. If you would like to get in touch with him in reference to any legal matter where you need assistance, you can call 214-453-2500, or you can log on to bulllegal.com.
So let's say that you do get a bond and you get out. Now, immigration courts actually only allow cash bonds, and that's a lot of money.
Now, explain the bond.
So bond is a promise, and you pay it by securing with money. Zamanat. That I will show up to court when it's time to show up to court.
ये पैसे आप किसको देते हैं और कितने पैसे?
So it all depends. It starts at $1,500, and I've seen bonds as high as $50,000. It goes to the government, Department of Homeland Security.
वो पूरे पैसे उनको देने पड़ते हैं?
बिल्कुल, पूरा cash. It's not 10%.
Is it like a deposit?
It's like a deposit.
पर आपको वापस मिल जाते हैं?
Eventually, आपका जब केस खत्म हो जाता है, let's say कि you win your case, you get asylum, or you get married to somebody, या आप deport हो जाते हैं. So when you get deported, when you land back in your country, you go to the U.S. Embassy, you give your fingerprints and say, look, I'm back in my country. At that point, that money is released back to the family.
Okay.
So the bond is just a guarantee.
Is there a cost to it?
So bonds, there's no cost to the bond.
नहीं तो जैसे आपके पास कोई आता है bond के लिए, like I know your firm offers the bail bonds. Now when they come to you, how, you're providing this service, so what's in it for you? Or for all
so there's
officers?
two kinds of, that's a good question. There's two kinds of bonds. For criminal bonds, you can post 10%.
Okay.
So if it's a $5,000 bond, you can post $500 and get out. And so we charge $500, and then we guarantee with our own funds that this person will show up. And we do that because of the relationship that we have.
Of course.
Immigration bonds, unfortunately, do not have a 10% option.
Okay.
It's a cash bond. You got to come up with it, or you stay in jail. Now, there are some companies, 2 or 3, all in the United States, that will do a immigration bond, but they need good collateral.
Okay.
Let's say you own a home. So what they'll do is they'll say, okay, we'll put a lien on your home for $10,000, and then we'll post the bond for $10,000. Now they charge money, but we as attorneys, just to the service of going there and posting the bonds, I mean, if you're our client, we won't charge you extra for that. Now, once the bond is posted, you come home, and now you need to see an attorney of how you can stay in the U.S.
And are there people who skip the bond?
All the time, all the time.
Then who loses the money?
The person who posted the bond.
Which is the law firm?
No, because the law firm won't post the bond until they're given the cash.
Okay.
So it's either their own money or a relative's money.
Okay.
And every year I've had at least 4 or 5 people who actually come to my office and say, tomorrow's my court, but I'm not going. I said, why? He says, well, because I know the judge's going to say that, you have no choice, you have no ties to the U.S., you have no case for asylum, you're not married, we're going to deport you. So I'm just going to take my chances and be here as long as I can. And one fine day they're going to catch me and send me anyway, so why should I take the risk? And we as attorneys, of course, we can't advise you to break the law. We say, look, you got to show up, you got to show up. But again, you can't carry a client into court and say, here, judge, here's the person. So it is your decision. I mean, it's a financial decision that you can lose it. But if you don't show up to court, not only that you lose the money, if they catch you, there's a warrant out there for you. They're gonna not give you a second chance for a bond. They're gonna arrest you and send you back home.
Well, thank you so much, Manasa, for sharing all this great information, and we hope that our listeners are finding this helpful and useful, and it's always great to have you on our show, and we look forward to you coming back on Tuesday.
Same here, Brina. I hope you feel better.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.